Welcome back to another episode of Steaming Pile with Lauren and Tucker. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Tucker.
All right. So before we got on this call, I got thinking about celebrity cameos, specifically like the really weird ones. Like Al Pacino's Dunkin' Donuts commercial lives rent free in my mind.
His what?
And he does like this Dunkin' Donuts commercial for Jack and Jill, the Adam Sandler movie, and it's a baffling thing. Like, I want to know how it happened, because like if you've had Al Pacino's career, there's no way you're so broke as to do like an Adam Sandler comedy because you need money. So is it a contractual obligation? Why would he do something like this? But why does it also work so well?
Well, maybe. I mean, Adam Sandler's friends with everyone. Everyone.
He is.
It's not outside the realm of possibility that he and Al Pacino have been like besties for years.
I'm willing to accept that, especially since Adam Sandler and P.T. Anderson have crossed over. Because Paul Thomas Anderson's like the gateway into a very artistic world, and I feel like that was a very pivotal connection that he possibly had.
Makes sense.
But also it's entirely possible that like Al Pacino just wanted to, and that's even more mystifying. Because like I don't know how many movies Al Pacino's necessarily made in recent years. Like Robert De Niro has kind of settled into the like supporting comic actor.
Yeah.
But Al Pacino hasn't really done that.
No.
And so I'm like, why?
I imagine maybe sometimes, girls just want to have fun.
Yeah. And sometimes Al Pacino's just want to do Dunkin' Donuts commercials.
So it lives rent. I can see why something like that would live rent free in your brain. That just
well, because as himself in the movie, he falls in love with the female Adam Sandler character, and I think he like borderline stalks the character because he's so obsessed with her, and it's all the more confusing. Will I ever sit down to watch the movie? No.
It sounds like you have to now. It sounds like you need to build up I thought you were saying all this having watched the movie.
No.
Maybe you should watch it now because like you need to build the context up around it and see like why is this? And there's probably no good answer. There's almost certainly no good answer.
But that's the thing
it's
too.
You gotta try it. You gotta try it.
Yeah, there are a handful of films that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to watch this now, aren't I? And I feel that way about Borat. I feel like I'm gonna have to watch that at some point.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that's gonna go. Like I've seen some of Sacha Baron Cohen's stuff, and it's cool stuff. I appreciate what he does. But the whole movie, where it's just him, I have pretty much only seen him as a supporting character.
Borat is it's really good. First off, and I remember watching it for the first time and being like, holy moly, because it's like it's so hard to like imagine people not knowing that he's actually acting. Like that's like as it's being recorded, it's real life. That's actually Borat. So yeah, I don't know. It's you'll like it. I think you'll like it a lot.
Okay.
It is
because I've seen his Who Is America stuff is baffling to me.
Yeah.
The things he can just get people to say.
And
it fascinates me.
Yeah. Borat isn't it's not as like, it's not pushing people to say things about that, but it is very satirical.
Yeah.
And satirical. Satirical. What? Satirical. I'm tired. I'm sorry. It's very satirical. I almost said it again, and but it's not like trying to get the worst out of people. It's just putting them in the situations where that would organically come up.
Yeah.
But it's still hilarious. It's so good. It's so good. I think it's better than what are those others? The other two I've seen Bruno. It's definitely better than Bruno, and it's definitely better than The Dictator.
Okay.
Well, The Dictator was scripted.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Brothers whatever movie. I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, yeah. I think that one's scripted also.
Yeah. I am very excited for the new one coming out. I am very excited.
Yeah, I've seen lots of posts from people who are like, I just stopped using the Borat voice, and now you're going to give me a sequel.
Great success!
Well, that's the thing, is even without having seen the movie, I know that, like, my wife, that's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, Kazakhstan does not like him.
No.
They aren't a fan. They aren't a fan. Everyone else is. Everyone else likes Sacha Baron. Well,
yeah.
There's some senators, but that's what are you gonna do?
Part of it, yeah. That's the thing. Is at what point do you expect people to take responsibility for vetting him? That's what makes me curious. Is like when he does go to speak to like congressmen, senators, whatever. Who vets him? How do they lie to get him in?
I have no idea how most of Who is America? I have no idea how that was filmed.
Yeah.
I have no idea how that was made.
Like he comes in one episode like to promote this program where they basically give guns to toddlers. And I'm like, did no one even Google Evron Murad? Did no one Google the name?
Well, that was a new character for the purpose of the show.
Right, yeah.
So
but I feel like it's like,
there.
oh, yeah. But if this is a guy who's, had success with this program in another country, did no one on the staff be like, oh, yeah, let me Google this program and see if it exists?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
Sometimes I'm like, assassinations don't happen anymore. And then people let Sacha Baron Cohen just walk in with a gallon jug and get Dick Cheney to sign his waterboarding kit. Like, people.
Yeah, I forgot about Dick Cheney. Yeah. No,
Sometimes I forget Dick Cheney's still alive.
It's kind of impressive. How is he still alive? How old is Dick Cheney?
He's probably in his 80s at this point.
Take a guess.
I'm gonna guess he's currently 81 years old because his eldest daughter is also a politician and she's getting up there. I say that and she's probably like 50.
Dick Cheney was born on January 30th, 1941, and therefore he is 79 years old.
Oh, I feel good about that.
It's pretty close, pretty good. Good old Dick.
That's probably because he's had like 3 heart replacements.
Oh, easily. He is also one of the most unpopular politicians in the history of the U.S., holding an approval rating of just 13% at the time of leaving office. That's low.
Oh, yeah.
That's really low.
Yep.
Good Lord. That's... Long histories of cardiovascular disease.
Yeah, no, that has a whole section on his wiki.
It does. Oh, it's multiple paragraphs. This is longer than some articles.
Yeah. He's had like 4 heart attacks.
Oh, and of course the hunting incident's its own article. There you go.
Yeah, because that was a time. Remember, like, it's so baffling that like we had a vice president shoot someone in the face while in office. And we just like,
whoops.
That's Dick.
Whoops. That's...
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah. And, like, Dick Cheney's corruption doesn't even touch on, like, Donald Rumsfeld. Donald Rumsfeld, at least per Vice, the movie, which is by no means a historical document at all. But Donald Rumsfeld is awful. Like, he was a big proponent of, like, yeah, let's invade this country that had nothing to do with 9/11 because we should.
Ah, yes. Because oil, I assume.
Yes. Yes.
It makes cars go. Yeah. Yeah, that's it's an interesting group of people. I haven't actually seen that movie yet. Vice, I've heard mixed reviews on that one.
And that's honestly fair. Like, I could see people having issue with the way Adam McKay chooses to tell the story, and with the way he like formats it, because he treats it almost like a video essay in some respects, because it's built around themes, and those themes are being conveyed through Dick Cheney's life, and some of it's really absurdist to kind of be like, this definitely didn't happen. And so I enjoyed it, but I also spent part of it like, if any fraction of this is true, oh my goodness. And like Christian Bale does a really good job as Dick Cheney. It's ridiculous how much he put himself through, even going so far as to be born on the same day just to play the part with accuracy.
That's method acting. Woof.
I know. Yeah.
Damn.
What Sam Rockwell does a really good job is George W. Bush. At first I was like, that's Sam Rockwell in a prosthetic nose. But by the end of it, I was like, meh. In a passing glance, I could believe that was the president of my childhood.
Interesting.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't see it.
It worked.
Now I have to look it up.
The film kind of takes the stance that George was probably in over his head, at least as far as, his own vice president and secretary of defense. And so he kind of let himself be pushed into doing things per Cheney and Rumsfeld's wishes rather than make his own decisions about things, which is hard to say. I don't know. I've actually not read a ton about that presidency in particular.
He sells it. Like, yeah, I'm just looking at a picture of them side by side. That's that could work.
Yeah, no, it was a fun movie. I think I like Adam McKay's style. I enjoyed the movie. I had read from other people who had gone to see the movie that, like, at some point, someone, I think even wearing like a MAGA hat, had like walked out, and I'm like, buddy, you thought this was going to be a positive portrayal of Dick Cheney. They called it Vice. It was not going to be nice to him.
No, how could that have possibly ended?
The only reason they didn't call it Dick was because another movie had already taken that title.
Damn, such a shame. Such a shame.
Yeah.
What a time that was, and we hardly remember it.
Yeah.
That was what, 2000 to 2008?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my memory doesn't really even kick in until 2008. Like, I only really was cognitively aware of like Obama's presidency because I watched the inauguration. But yeah, like with Bush, it was like his signature was at the bottom of like those presidential physical fitness certificates that they would give us. Yeah. And that was like as much interaction and awareness I had of him at the time.
Bush is president. That's it. He talks funny.
Yeah. The baffling thing was George was not the Bush child that was expected to be president. They did expect Jeb to be the one to ascend to the presidency. George was hilarious. The black sheep failure son.
That's hilarious. Because when I think of Jeb now, I don't think that.
No.
That's not what I think of.
No.
That's. Oh my God.
I feel so bad for him because like he just screams earnest. My favorite Jeb Bush story is someone was buying something from his store because like Jeb's wife is Hispanic, so they had like guacamole bowls on their website. and this guy, I think he like asked the support thing, and he was like, "Does it come with any recipes or whatever?" And Jeb himself at like 2 a.m. responded. It's like, Jeb, why are you awake? Why are you answering your store support line? Let me see. Sorry, Mike. Let me see what he actually said. Campaign store.
I remember the please clap. that just destroyed me. I was like, oh, Jeb,
it's
buddy,
yeah.
Please clap.
It just and the bowl itself was like $75.
Oh my God, was this like made out of gold? It's a guacamole bowl. What's special? First off, let's establish what's special about a guacamole bowl that makes it different from other kinds of bowls, because there are many different kinds of bowls.
Yeah.
What is this bowl? What is a guacamole bowl? Like, just in general.
The only thing I can really picture is like a mortar and pestle. And that
already has a name.
Right, exactly.
So, okay. That's so weird. $75.
Yeah. I can't find the story itself, and it may be a fever dream, but it feels very real in my heart.
It sounds like something you would do. I searched guacamole bowl, and it's just showing me pictures of mortars and pestles.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
I mean, I guess. I suppose. Technically speaking, yeah, but I guess it's better than calling it a mortar and pestle, because you can charge more if it's a guacamole bowl.
Yeah.
I went to Chipotle the other day.
Yeah.
So there are reasons to go to Chipotle, and one of them is they have the good tortillas, and if you're in the mood for guacamole, their chips taste amazing. I haven't had their guacamole in a very long time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get some guacamole because feeling pretty good. I want to get the guacamole. So guacamole is supposed to be this, like creamy, smooth kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
On a couple of the scoops, I got these hard. They were like peas, but I have no idea what they were. But it was so intensely disappointing because Chipotle guacamole isn't cheap, so you kind of expect top tier guacamole. I could have gone to Qdoba and gotten better guacamole for less. It's much further away, but right,
yeah.
And it just blew my mind. Oh, I mean the burrito was good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. That was just I just had to share. That was
no. Well, when the avocados aren't ripe, you do run into that. I've not made guacamole very often, but the first avocado did just fine. The second one, I had to cut it out.
Oh, you think it was an unripe avocado?
Or a less than ripe one. But that is just another way of saying unripe. So,
that didn't even occur to me. I figured it was something else that they added. Like uncooked chickpeas, because that's really what it was like in terms of texture. But why would you put chickpeas in guacamole? It's not hummus. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
That's a good point.
It's fine. I just know not to get the guacamole. Guammus. God. What? Guammus. I'm just trying to think of what that would taste like. Actually,
I want to say that Sabra has something like that. That seems like something Sabra would make.
Yeah.
Because texturally, hummus and guacamole are not dissimilar.
No, they're not. And flavor-wise, I guess they...
It's really just giving a different flavor palette to the hummus itself.
Yeah. And hummus, really, you're supposed to flavor it with stuff. Why not flavor it with guacamole? all right, sure, maybe it's a thing. Maybe it works. If it's not already a thing, it definitely could be. Yep. I hate having to concede that, but it's not untrue.
Yeah.
Sure. God. One thing I miss about the before times is, and this is going to sound really weird, I miss sitting sitting in a place to eat, but not in the way that you would expect. I like Taco Bell because I'm a piece of human trash. I have a well-paying software engineering job in a big city, and I choose to go to Taco Bell. That's just who I am as a person. Don't at me. The thing is, there are no Taco Bells near me. And I don't have a car. So before, I could take a train, right?
Yeah.
I live right by the red line, so I can take the train north up to Loyola, and there is a Taco Bell. Sure. Wow. They also recently opened a Taco Bell near the train stop I get off to go to work. Now the problem now is you can't eat there, right? Yes. And it's too far away. I can't take it back and expect it to be it's not worth the effort to take it back on the train now, right? And I'm not going to eat it on the train. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's expressly forbidden on the CTA. Not that anyone cares, but eating on a subway car. But
yeah,
I draw the line at Taco Bell, not. So, yeah. But what occurred to me is that, and this just occurred to me because I got an email from DoorDash saying that they were running a Taco Bell special. Taco Bell was added to DoorDash and they were running a special. But the special was you got to spend $15 on Taco Bell and then you get half off this party pack of tacos. And I'm I'm one person. So then I started to try to figure out for each of these places that DoorDash and Uber Eats and Postmates, what's on their platform. What is the line of demarcation where I deem it worthy to request that someone else brings me my food to my doorstep? Mm-hmm. What makes it worth someone bringing me Taco Bell? It's got to be a lot. It's got to be a lot to justify, bring the taco. If it was it's not about amount. I think it's about cost, because there are some places where you can spend a lot of money for one or two things, and it's worth the delivery if you can't eat there, right? There are a couple burger places that are nowhere near me that are worth it because they're they're so good. But Taco Bell, I don't think it, or any fast food place for that matter, even though they're listed on these sites, I'm not who gets fast food on delivery, because at least in the city, they're not, it's never too far, right? It's never too far to get to one.
The only thing I could think of is if you're intoxicated.
I suppose. Yeah,
because they do typically end up being the places that taste especially good at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see I could see the argument for that.
That's the only thing I could think of.
I guess they've cornered that market then.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that was...
good for them. All right, never mind then.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of I feel like that was Taco Bell and Burger King, honestly. Their big rebranding is we know what our niche is, and we are going to cater exactly to that niche.
Oh, yeah. Taco Bell and Jack in the Box, for sure. They literally called all the stuff after 9 p.m. munchie meals. That's...
Oh,
they know. They know what's up. And there was so much food for those munchie meals were massive. Oh my God. So much food. You get the popcorn chicken bowl, and it's big. It's oh my God, it's 9 p.m.
Yeah, well, because places like McDonald's, I don't go to unless there is nothing else in the world that I want.
Yeah.
Because I have a Wendy's and an Arby's really nearby.
Yeah. There's
no sense to go out of my way to McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
but like once every financial quarter, McDonald's is all that will suffice.
Sometimes you just really need those chicken nuggets.
Yeah. And exactly. And it amazes me how much, but like McDonald's is the epitome of like absence makes the heart grow fonder, because like as a kid, every week, that was why would you go anywhere else?
Yeah.
But as an adult, it's like there are several reasons why we would go everywhere else.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's easier for me to justify because I live in walking distance to a McDonald's. So that's like, sure. And I think the only other fast food place that's in walking distance, like in the same general radius, I got a KFC and a Subway. But who cares about the Subway? I got a KFC. Yeah. And it's like, well, the McDonald's is right next to the food store. I might as well kill two birds with one stone, right? So, like...
Right. Yeah, as like a reward for doing the regular grocery shopping.
Oh, I mean, that's a slippery slope. If you, I went grocery shopping. Time to eat McDonald's. That's a big yikes. But I'm not above it.
It's... Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Because like near me, I have a Domino's, a Little Caesars, a Subway, a Wendy's, an Arby's, a Chick-fil-A, and a Waffle House, like all within walking distance. And my favorite thing about Little Caesars in particular is while the mascot exclaims "Pizza, pizza," its slogan is "It's hot and it's ready," which doesn't say it's pizza.
It's true.
I love that to death.
It's hot and ready. In the commercials, they say hot and ready pizza, but on the branding, it does not.
Oh, true, yeah.
No, but on the branding, it does not.
Yeah.
Little Caesars, hot and ready.
Yeah. I don't think I've had Little Caesars probably 3 years.
Yeah. I doubt it's gone anywhere. I don't think you're missing anything. Have they innovated the game recently? Have they... I don't know. I haven't seen commercials for Little Caesars. Have they come out with anything new, or they just keep churning out the pizzas?
I think they do the same thing. The closest I get to Little Caesars advertising is there's an Instagram account called Lol Caesars, and it's basically just shit posts about Little Caesars.
How much content could that possibly yield?
Enough. Lately, they've been going over the like crazy bread and the fact that you can use the initial CBD. And honestly, that would be an improvement for the crazy bread. Because like if it's just crazy bread, but there's nothing new added to it, like is it really crazy or is it just covered in cheese?
Lol. I need to see. Lol Caesars.
The best food shitpost account though is probably Kurger Being.
Oh my god.
It's so good. Yeah, I follow Lol Caesars, Kurger Being, The Real McDonald's, I think. What's it called? Oh, The Real McDonald's. That's what it's called.
It's so... Oh my god. This one has a Brazzers meme too. What is this?
Yep. The Real McDonald's also does.
McDonald's. Real McDonald's. Their logo.
It's just...
Are these all run by the same person? Because there's like
it's
a pattern.
Entirely possible.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
The McDonald's Brazzers meme is deeply unsettling. Because we all know Grimace is a power top, and I don't want to picture it. I just don't want to picture it. Grimace is both his name and what you do.
Oh no.
We're only 30 minutes into the episode and we're here.
Which is impressive given where we were able to go last time. We're just gonna speed run to the worst thing ever.
Any percent corruption speed run of Steaming Pile.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, and see, I love things like that. Oh, no. So the other day we drove by a Chuck E. Cheese and Chuck E. Cheese was open. And I'm like, why would you open a Chuck E. Cheese? That's like the epicenter of the plague because of like all of the ball pits and the fact that it's geared towards children. And it's like, that's ridiculous. And I realized that rat casino is basically like a modern fairy ring. And I understand we still have fairy rings technically, but like there are children who go in that probably don't come out of Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Because they eat the rat's forbidden pizza and now they're stuck there.
I think I read this morning. It was like it was one of these articles, you know, like the 6 pizza places that are going to shut down, and Chuck E. Cheese was among them. They're not doing well. They haven't been for a while. I'm not entirely certain how they're still open, but apparently their kitchen stayed open, and you could I think you could get both the regular like pizza and their like adult pizza, which was like a better pizza. I'm heavily paraphrasing and probably
no, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
So that's a thing. So
that does remind me too of any time a Chuck E. Cheese closes, there are like instructions on how to destroy the mascots beyond recognition.
Oh my god, that's smart.
Because of like trademark, you can't have people like finding the suits, and so they have their special instructions on how to like break the face. Curb stomp Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh no. Did you see Chuck E. Cheese live streaming on Twitch?
No.
He was playing, I think he was playing, it's not Among Us, the other one. Don't tell me. What? Yeah, Fall Guys, yeah. I was going to say Fallout, but that's not the same thing. I was conflating it with Wipeout. Yeah, I think it was Fall Guys. And I don't think the mouse was talking. I think it was just a face cam of the mouse.
Oh, no.
And it was one of the most unsettling things I've ever seen.
That brings us, like, one step closer to that Black Mirror episode.
Yeah? Well, which one? It could be...
Well, I mean, this whole year has been...
Yeah.
But the episode where one of the candidates for...
Yeah!
Prime Minister or whatever is the...
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah. That was spooky. Started out as a joke, and then he was elected. That's... Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Black Mirror is always like... I catch it on the periphery, but it's never been one that I'm like, yeah, let's watch Black Mirror. Because for me, it feels like doom scrolling.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Like...
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because I think I had considered watching it, and then I read the synopsis of like the first episode, and I'm like, I'm good.
Don't need it.
Don't need to see that.
Yeah, no. They're in the season 5 now. I've seen all of it. It's good, but also yikes, because maybe.
Yeah.
All of it's a solid maybe.
Maybe the real Black Mirror was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. hate to believe it. Hate to think about it. That's not entirely impossible. So Black Mirror.
Yeah.
And I feel like Black Mirror is one of those shows that Netflix ruined.
That's possible.
But not by a lot, because it's still good. But they did still ruin it, because there's a distinct tone change, between season 3 and 4, or 2 and 3? Yeah. And like it's like they started trying too hard. Again, it's still good, but also so.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's hard to keep shows like that going. And it gets harder to plumb like the depths of how things work, especially since things anymore are changing so much.
Yeah.
Like, it's... I'm sure there are people who, like, have put it into more eloquent terms, but, like, you'll see things of, like, you know, we built the first airplane in, like, 1903, and by 1969, we were going to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, like, a single lifetime. And the technology that existed for the moon landing, we carry around in our pockets all the time.
Oh, yeah. Many magnitudes
Yes.
greater. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's too fast.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
You know, plane, the moon, Chuck E. Cheese live streams. It's all too much. Black Mirror can't possibly keep up, of course. Like back when the Twilight Zone aired, of course. Like those were
those
relevant
episodes are still good.
Oh god, yeah. They're so good. I love them.
Sci-Fi and IFC would show reruns, and that was always like the greatest day.
Oh. It's always New Year's Day they run at least on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I always love that. That's like one of the few times I actually watch television because, you know,
yes.
Twilight Zone. I can handle commercials for the Twilight Zone.
With the Twilight Zone, there were, like, with those commercial breaks, you'd at least get a full story in between commercials, and I think that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are still episodes that freak me out. There was one where it was like a department store, and all the people were mannequins.
Oh,
except for one person. Yeah. And then by the end you realize that no, she was a mannequin too. And it's just like, yes. Or like some of them I remember more deeply because Johnny Bravo parodied them. Like the Monster on the Wing of the Plane, the one where it's the kid who can send people to the cornfield.
Yeah.
And the haunted doll, I think. Those are the ones that I remember most strongly.
Yeah. Do you remember The Librarian?
Many more to go on. It's possible that I do.
The Librarian was obsolete.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's one of my favorites. That one's really good.
The one with the masks, and the masks become their face.
Yep.
That one's good.
They're all just so good.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch the new one because I'm optimistic about it. It might...
Really?
I'm curious to see what they do with it. I don't know. It's on CBS All Access, which isn't like a great ringing endorsement, but I have like... I feel like a couple episodes are probably good.
I mean, maybe.
But cable, gosh, and the ways cable has tried to stay relevant by making streaming just for themselves. It's baffling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only reason I have cable is because it makes my internet cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some people who do that.
Yep. Probably should just drop Comcast altogether. There are even better internet providers. I probably just should. Probably just, get out from under their thumb. Get under someone else's thumb.
We are anti-sponsored by Comcast.
Yeah.
We pay Comcast to not sponsor us.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like I people complain about Comcast all the time. I don't have a big problem with Comcast. I've never had a bad experience with Comcast. I just know that they exist. Bad experiences exist.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I have not switched to, what is it up here? RCN? It's cheaper. I don't have to get cable for it to be cheaper. It's still a gigabit internet. No fiber up in Uptown for some inexplicable reason, but I still get a gigabit. That's fine. I can use my own router where I can change all of the settings, which would be really nice. But I just haven't. I'm sorry. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Well, and things like that, it does take effort. If it doesn't happen during the week, it has to happen on the weekend. And normally things like that I set aside for the weekend. But by the time I get to the weekend, I don't want to do the dumb administrative crap.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, if I have to stay late, I'm going to take a 20-minute nap during my day. This meeting just got out. I have time. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. No, just take an hour here and there. It honestly beats taking a full day.
Yes.
Just spreading out is taking a couple hours, like an hour there, an hour here. Maybe you need to go to the food store. Do it when nobody else is at the food store, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah. Just go for a walk. Just take some time.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Because we, like as a kid, you're in school and there's actually like consequences if you ditch school, ostensibly. At least for a handful of grades. When you get to college, it's kind of a toss-up of whether they care or not. Mm-hmm. But then, like, you get a job, and especially now that we're all working from home. If the work's getting done, and you're not, leaving people hanging for a half hour, set that status to busy and go to sleep.
The transition, at least from like high school to college. I remember the first time I accidentally slept through class. I had an 8 a.m. my first quarter, and I slept through, and I'm like, oh no. And I got there late, and no one cared. And it's like, uh-oh. That's powerful.
Yeah. Now, I think our college was a little stricter on attendance, comparatively speaking. Like, I heard stories from my friends who went to more like public universities, and there'd be people in their class they didn't meet until like the day they took the final.
That's probably more culture than enforcement, although
that could be.
I have noticed that Rose was more analogous to the high school experience that at least I had than a lot of other colleges seem to be. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was interesting. Yeah,
well, because I would tell people that I had class like every day, and they'd be like, every day?
Every day?
I'm like, yeah, for 50 minutes. And they'd be like, for 50 minutes? Because they'd have like 4-hour blocks, once a week, and that'd be it.
Yeah, just the way that it was scheduled and the way the administrivia worked. It felt a lot like high school. And I mean, I ain't mad, it worked, but like I don't know if I would have preferred what other people have. Just like, classes that just kind of happen when they happen, and they might be long, and they might happen like twice a week. But
I feel like I would get very sick of that format, because I find that if it's like, because that the whole 4-hour block where your participation is not necessary, that to me is like a meeting I don't have to be at.
Yeah.
And I get very sick of that. And I get very sick of that very quickly.
You might check out even.
And so the structure of Rose was good.
Yes.
And I liked actually knowing my professors and them knowing me, and like remembering me, even if I only had them once freshman year.
Oh yeah.
And that was nice. There are some aspects of Rose that I would have done differently, and there are some aspects that I'm glad I had instead.
Yeah. I'm
still deciding if the tuition and the debt I'm paying off was worth it. But
Yeah. I don't know. It's a good place. Was it like ranked number 1 for like a bajillion years in whatever metric they measure by? At least it's a real. At least it's a real metric. Like it is
a real magazine. Yeah.
Like and it's a big meme to me. The Arizona State University is number 1 in innovation. What does that mean? What does it mean to be number 1 in innovation? How do you measure innovation? Is that just something you say because it's not verifiable? I don't. Who says that?
It's one of those innovations. I feel like if you just say you're number 1 in innovation, that just means you came up with the most ideas in a given year. That has nothing to do with what you've improved upon. That's not innovation. Is not ideas, though. It's not. But yeah, how do you measure innovation?
You don't. You don't.
Yeah, because we at least had return on investment and placement, job placement,
accreditation.
I want to say even professor-student ratio is something that you can
Yep.
gauge
Professor-student ratio.
facilities.
Average median starting salary. Average
Yeah.
median starting salary was the metric, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have decent metrics that work out well.
Every college that
It
brags
just-
about anything has decent metrics, except for Arizona State University.
We're anti-sponsored by them as well.
Yes.
Never call us unless you're willing to give us money. Be a nice change of pace.
Yeah, we'll start being nice to you, ASU. We'll start being nice.
Yeah.
Let's say, oh, yeah, no, they're...
It's the way the world
great,
works. If you want our services, you got to give us money.
Yeah. They have a cool library, I think. Their library's all right. I've been to, like...
once saw...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I've been to the Tempe campus. Tempe, whatever. It's Arizona. Who cares? I've been there. It's it's okay. It's in the middle of a desert. What can you do with that? And it's like, all right, it's okay. It feels like a state school. All right, cool.
Yeah. Speaking of state schools, I forget whose video it was, but they were talking about the gradual luxurization of college campuses and how that has affected tuition.
Mm-hmm.
The example they used was Louisiana State University. Their library was falling apart. There were big chunks taken out of the floor. The ceiling had those tiles that were not locked in place. But the school had recently installed a lazy river. And it's
Huh.
Yeah. And the dorms look like, vlogger's first mansion in LA. That nice. And I'd be furious.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yes.
I'm not saying you have to live in a garbage can for 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
or that your campus has to be, dead grass and a possum, but
Dead grass and a possum. Yeah.
But why is this about being competitive? It's not. If you want a college to be competitive anymore, give me the cheaper option.
Yeah.
Because I've been shafted by the tuition I paid and the loans I took out to pay for it. That at this point I'm like, my future child, you can do whatever you want with your future. You are not going to college.
Whatever Louisiana's doing, I mean, the first things first, you should make sure your buildings are structurally sound. But hey, at least you're not number one in innovation. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop.
It's ludicrous. Why?
I guess, yeah, and in many ways, we didn't get the traditional college experience. I applied to 3 schools, and Rose is my top choice. If I didn't get into Rose, I would have gone to MSOE, and if I didn't go to MSOE, I would have gone to Cal Poly. And if I had gone to Cal Poly, that would have been the closest. It would have been because it's California State School. It would have been the college experience. And I often wonder, would I have liked that more? Because it's all about experience, right? And I have absolutely no clue. I have no idea, because I really liked Rose just, being there, existing in that, physical place and time and space. But it's like, is it because it's not, did I miss something? I don't know. Probably not. But also maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. It is hard to say. Because it's also would I have enjoyed the experiences I've missed out on and think that would have been more of the quintessential college experience? Because I know for me, being a girl, it's not something I think about a lot. But there were a couple times I'd be walking on Rose's campus at 10:30 or midnight, and it didn't cross my mind to be careful.
Yeah. Oh,
if I had gone to a state school, I wouldn't 9 o'clock, the doors are closed.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not going anywhere.
No, I made that joke all the time. Public safety at Rose Holman must get so bored because it's such a safe campus. Like
Yeah.
like I've called them twice, and both times was because my car battery was dead and no one was around to jump me. I felt so bad because they got a call. I was like, oh God, hello, did someone get murdered? You know, no one ever.
It's Terre Haute. Please tell me there's meth.
And you see those, like, the emergency with the blue lights on the top that probably see a lot of use at a lot of other schools, but at Rose, I've never once seen anybody even come close to using one of those, and that's gotta stand for something.
Yeah, and that is, to some extent, that was worth paying extra for.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, and then I liked being able to do like a very STEM oriented thing, but still have like artistic extracurriculars, because at a state school those would not have intersected.
No, they would not have. That's a very good point.
And that was worth it.
That's actually a very good point. Rose is small enough that you can span things like that without much difficulty. I think because it's a STEM school, like if we were to have gone to a larger school, I'm just going to use Cal Poly for example. They have theater majors, right? Like that's
interesting. Yeah.
If you wanted to do theater, you would have to have been a theater major. But at Rose, because it was all engineering, it was just a club that anyone could join. Whatever. Yeah. You're 100% right. And now I screw California. Who cares?
Yeah.
You're right.
No. And like the people I met there, I got to meet a very broad spectrum of people that were very fun, including my fiance, and including you. So those are.
Oh, you had me in the first half. No, but yeah, no, people. The people there, most of them, pretty cool. Some of them questionable, but most of them all right. Some all right.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And I think the fact that, and again, one of the reasons I went to Rose is because it was so small, and it was a much tighter knit community, and you felt it in the student professor ratio, but you also felt it pretty much everywhere else. And that's something you definitely would have missed out had you gone to a big school like Cal Poly. What's the big Illinois State?
I'd be super curious to see if you could basically do 7 degrees at the campus and basically find out, like, just pick any year of your college career that you would somehow have a connection to every single person there. Somehow.
Yeah, probably.
Because I feel like the humanities overlap enough.
Oh, yeah.
And the gen ed classes, like all the introductory classes that people have to take, there's enough overlap there that I think I could connect myself to like every professor at least.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. There might be some edge cases, like, I don't know, did you ever take an art class? Economics?
Yeah, art or economics I don't think I ever took. I did take, what is it? What is it? It's kind of economics-y. I cannot for the life of me think of what it was.
Can't think of things that are similar to economics but aren't.
Because like there's like a branch of classes and like it'd have like game theory or this or that, and it's in like that family of classes. And I think it had an econ tag because it was one of the econ professors, engineering management professors, who taught it. So it may have been like an engineer. No, it was an engineering management class. It wasn't an economics class. So no, I didn't take any econ and I didn't take any art.
That's still a very small subset that you're missing out on. Right.
Yeah, and like the chemistry, biology, like the closest I came to those were the introductory courses. And then no. Yeah.
Yeah. That's I mean, it's a valid point. 7 degrees is probably a little too high. It's probably more like 4, maybe even 3.
Yeah.
Small place, lots of overlap. If you yourself didn't take a class, but someone else definitely did, someone you know.
Yeah, that's where the clubs, I think, help, is that would round out the overlap.
Yes. Oh, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a good time. Good time.
Yeah.
Expensive. Good time though.
So expensive. Life in general is expensive.
I didn't ask to be born. The hell is this? Now I have to buy food and then get McDonald's afterwards? Shit, man. Come on. Thanks.
Yeah. There's so many moments where I'm like, what is like the worst thing I would do for money, and what am I willing to forego so I don't spend money? And like, because anymore I'm like, we're not going to the doctor. God gave us WebMD for a reason.
Yep.
Doctors are busy right now anyway.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to the doctor.
There you go. What is the worst thing you do for money? Interesting question. And of course it depends, how much money.
True. Yes. Like if I were, were I untethered, if I were offered an obscene amount of money to pretend to be an influencer's girlfriend, I would do it.
Sure.
Easy.
Yeah.
I think when I was in like true dire financial straits, the closest I came to actually doing anything compromising was I Googled on incognito other people's experience selling feet pictures. Just to like gauge what it was like. Not necessarily because I was getting ready to do it. I was like...
No shame in opening up an OnlyFans. That's,
Well, because like... selling drugs is illegal and it's dangerous. That I would be afraid to have drugs on my person that were meant to be given to someone else for money.
Mm-hmm. But you carry your feet wherever you go.
Yeah, that's innovation.
Yeah.
That's using what I have.
That's it. You should go teach at ASU. I mean, that is innovation.
That is innovation.
It pisses me off to no end. But yeah, no, selfie pictures. That's not. You do it. People like feet for some reason.
It's because like I don't know. It's a fascinating thing that like it makes that much money.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And obviously, it's not like once everyone gets in the door, that's what they make starting out.
Yeah.
And I think that is the big misconception that people who do make their money online through photography of varying degrees of clothedness. I think that's what makes them mad is they're like, you don't just do it and make money.
You don't just pop a titty out and get millions of dollars. That's not how it works. That's not.
When that stuff is free to Google online, no.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. My dream is to be able to scam rich people. I want to make a Fire Fest. I want to make a Goop. I want
do it.
That's what I hope. Because there's someone, I think, who even tried to give like classes. I want like scam classes. Like, because you see those people online who are all like pickup artists and they all have like classes that people can pay for. I'm like, how do you tap into that? Because people fall for it every time.
They sure do. Yeah.
Work hard and invest. I can't invest the money I have.
Yeah. It's start a Fiverr gig.
Yeah, because I like freelance editing, and there's a lot of work out there for that. And there's a lot of work out there for like copywriting stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be fun, and much easier to tell other people about.
What, easier to talk about than feet pics? No, come on.
Yeah.
Because you gotta go through like, I sell my services on this website called Fiverr, which is used for freelancers that connect them with people who require their services. And for $5 to $50, depending on the size of the job, I edit this book, or I do some copywriting. Then you have to go through like the process that, or I sell feet pics to thirsty dudes on internet, and I get thousands of dollars. See the difference? It's
Yeah. Well, and then sometimes I'll see people talk about like people who draw like furry art, raking in 6 figures, and I'm like, I can't draw.
Yeah.
But for 6 figures, could I learn?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's you know, it's if there's a market for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hustle never stops.
The hustle. Well, I mean, and I guess the next question would be, where I refuse to believe that six-figure furry porn artists make that on a small number of commissions, because there's no way that these things are that expensive. So that must mean
It's hard to say.
Well, I guess it depends on the elaborate or how elaborate a piece of art is, or like, you know, what is like required. I don't know the metrics by which you price out, you know, what's the word? What's the word? There's a word for it. Yiff. There's a
I want that to be like in our out of context conversation, you know.
It's called Yiff, children. Don't Google it. I don't know what the metrics are for pricing something out like that. I don't.
Yeah.
So either it's a couple very expensive ones, which I find it much harder to believe than a lot of medium-priced ones. Because, I mean, the people who draw this, okay, you find yourself in a niche. You know, maybe this one artist is good at drawing dogs in compromising positions. Maybe someone is really good at drawing horse cock. You know, it all depends. And so you get really good at drawing these things over and over and over again. So you get efficient. And now you can start churning a couple of these out a day, right? So what is, where... And of course I'm speaking like I am not good at art. I couldn't draw, you know, a giraffe's genitals to save my life. But you know, I can't imagine, like, for basic drawings it would take very long. I wonder what the level of detail is that would start to rake in like maybe $1,000 for one piece. You see, and we saw this in Rose back in the good old days. I saw this in the hallways of Groupon. They had art hanging on the wall, and you look at it, and then you look at the price tag, and you're like, "Who do you think you are?"
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same with Yiff.
You know, it might be, because most of the time when I see like commissioned art, because I follow like a bunch of artists on Instagram, not furry artists, but you know, make that paper.
Don't judge.
It's usually anywhere from like $60 for, like, you know, head images. It could be up to like $150 for full body, whether it's color or not could affect the price. And it depends on if this is their only job.
That's true too, yeah.
Because if it's their only job, then yeah, you're drawing animals for 8 hours a day.
I mean, even if it wasn't a full-time job, if I could you know, if I could bang one out in the afternoon, poor phrasing, that would be just fine. That's a level I would stoop to, absolutely. If I had the talent, I would 100% draw. I don't know, because, you know, you really have to be inventive. And like, you know, because dogs don't do that. So you just gotta your mind has to go there. So yeah. You gotta.
Well, that's what they always say is they don't necessarily pay for the art. They pay for the experience that generates that art so efficiently.
The experience that generates Yiff.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I'm sure there's an island for that stuff too. I don't know. There seems to be an island for everything nowadays. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Speaking of making money, did we make money last week? Is there someone who's giving us money?
That's a good question. It's a very good question. There is.
Oh.
That's another thing. So this sponsor, right? It's all about it's about our furry friend, the bee. How much bee porn do you think there is out there? That's got to be super niche. Anyway,
before or after bee movie?
Okay. I actually kind of want to know now. I want to like chart it out. The progression of bee Yiff. So our sponsor's going to love this. Today's episode of Steaming Pile is brought to you by BuzzFeed. No, not the website of garbage citizen journalism and what Harry Potter house you would be in based on your favorite kind of jelly bean. No, rather the Golden Corral equivalent for honeybees. Bees, have you ever wanted half-grilled Texas toast? Maybe meatloaf with mysterious red sauce? Steak? How about a chocolate fondue fountain that was probably the real source of the current pandemic? Then come on over to BuzzFeed. Food as far as your segmented eyes can see. Unlimited trips to the fried shrimp bar. Don't ask where they came from. BuzzFeed, because bees need a Golden Corral for some reason. That's...
That went to a much better place than I was expecting.
Where did you think it was kind of...
No, okay.
Oh, starting from bee porn. Yes, okay, I suppose.
Yeah. The fact that it was called BuzzFeed, I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
But no, a Golden Corral for bees. That's allowed.
Well, there's only one way bee porn can go. Because the queen's the only one that's allowed to have offspring. So do the math.
No.
There are some categories. There are some categories on sites. It's only one category. It's his name, and you grimace when you do it too. Woo!
Oh my goodness. This might be my favorite episode to date.
Yep.
I love how we balance, like we bookended this with such ludicrous things, but we managed to have like a decent conversation about like American education and our college experience.
That was so long ago.
Just buried underneath Dick Cheney and furry porn.
Honestly, I don't see the difference.
Yeah.
All right, well, I don't know what this was a pile of, but I feel like we sifted through it.
We definitely got to the bottom of that. Didn't expect furry porn to be at the bottom of that pile, but you know, once you clear that away, oh look, it's the bedrock.
Yeah. Who knows? It's like putting one of the ball into the three cups and you go, move them around.
Yeah.
The furry porn's gotta be under one of them.
Every time.
I
open Google, it's like playing Russian roulette.
Oh God. All right, and the thing.
This has been Steaming Pile with Lauren and Tucker. I've been Lauren.
I'm Tucker.
Thanks for eavesdropping. We'll see you next time.